Plus, superstar Michael Jordan in the news. The strongest words yet from Jordan, that he will be back. Good morning, America. I'm Charles Gibson.
I'm Diane Sawyer, and it's Tuesday, September 11th, 2001.
Jesse,
What
would you have done on September the 12th, 2001? What would you have done if you'd been president?
What would I have done?
Yeah.
I would have done a legitimate investigation.
9/11 conspiracies are false in that they mostly have easily explainable conclusions and are also outright dumb. The first major theory is that the planes were holograms. But the thing with that is, holograms can't be seen well during the day.
Visibility is another constraint. Holograms often rely on specific lighting conditions to look their best.
The article I got this from is from 2025. Holograms can't look good during the day today, let alone in 2001. The highest tech thing we had was back then was like Windows XP. Probably not, but you know what I mean. The second theory most people know is jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams, which is right, but it can definitely weaken them. The article of the Thermodynamics of 9/11 states,
Steel loses half its strength when heated to about 570 Celsius or 1060 Fahrenheit, and nearly all once past 700 C or 1300 Fahrenheit. Thus, the impact zone with a temperature that varies between 200 C and 700 C near the time of collapse.
the steel was weakened because of the heat of the fire inside the building. The floor sagged inward, and this was followed by the perimeter columns curving inward. The third theory is that a missile hit the Pentagon. This theory, along with the hologram theory, is disgusting because it's basically saying that the people who died on those planes either were killed somewhere else or made up by the government. There were kids on those planes, and you're going to say that those kids didn't exist? I would say most people think this because they don't see the wings in the Pentagon like they do in the World Trade Center. Let me put this simply. Concrete is going to have an entirely different reaction than steel being hit by a plane. So I'm sorry that these two different materials don't look the same when a plane crashes through them. I think American September put this way better than I could. Imagine a strong guy hitting you and a normal guy hitting you. One of those punches is going to hurt less. The fuselage is the strong guy, and the wings are the normal guy. Makes sense? I would like to thank American September for inspiring this video, and after watching this, you should check out his channel. A building that also has a lot of theory surrounding it is World Trade Center 7.
Ridiculous. Okay, let's talk about your BBC. I have a tape of a BBC reporter broadcasting directly back to England talking about a third building has collapsed. World Trade Center Building 7 talks for 7 minutes. All the while she's talking, World Trade Center Building 7 is still standing right behind her.
World Trade Center 7 fell due to fires caused by debris hitting the building from the North Tower. People will say that there was nanothermite or other bombs placed in World Trade Center 7 to make it fall, but I want you to listen to this video.
The second building collapses. He came back 20 minutes later, looking like a Three Stooges movie covered in plaster, I swear to God. But you got a good thing, man. That's some good shit. Then we went back there. Whoa!
Now, can you tell me if you heard the sound of a bomb going off in that building? Don't you think we would have seen an explosion, heard it? No, because there were no charges. The building collapsed due to uncontrolled fires on the south side of the building. Most footage you see looks like a normal building falling for no reason. But that's because most of the damage is on that side. These fires were allowed to burn for 7 hours uncontrolled, which weakened the columns, specifically the ones holding up the penthouse, and those columns buckled. The collapse of the columns set off a chain reaction through the entire building.
9/11 was bad.
I agree with that. What are your plans for cleaning up our environment?
9/11.
What about our traffic problem?
9. 11.
9/11 affected the media by making certain things censored and creating stereotypes. The movie Collateral Damage was supposed to be released in 2001, but it was actually delayed until the following February of 2002. The reason for the delay is because the movie centers on a man seeking revenge for the death of his wife and child because of the terrorist bombing. You can see why they wanted to delay it. I also wanted to ask people how they saw change in the media after 9/11. Did you notice anything about the media, like TV, movies, music, etc., change after 9/11?
Yeah, absolutely. There was a lot of changes that happened directly after 9/11. The one that I would probably find the most interesting was there were several films that were filmed pre-9/11 that were released after 9/11, and the filmmakers had gone back through and removed the World Trade Center from the film so that they would not cause, honestly, looking back at it, I think it's kind of silly, but it was not to create reopen those wounds. The other one that I would definitely lean on is the kind of the rampant and overwhelming patriotism that was going on there. I mean, War Powers Act were being passed simply because we felt like it was the patriotic thing to do. So patriotism in media escalated very quickly right after 9/11.
Yes, I think the biggest thing that I noticed change was that the depiction of Muslims, Arab, or anyone from the Middle East took on a distinctly negative tone. And so in a lot of movies, a lot of TV shows after 9/11, the bad guys were almost exclusively Muslims or people of Middle Eastern descent, or people of that faith, and they were largely portrayed as what we would call terrorists. And I think that has persisted in the last 20 years plus since 9/11.